What's up? In this video, I'm going to give you the full walkthrough of the public investing app by sharing my screen, showing screenshots from my computer so you can get a perfect idea of the features that public offers, some of which no other brokerages even have at this point. Watch out, Robinhood. That said, let's go ahead and jump into the first feature, which is one of those that no other brokerage currently has, and that is AI agents. We all know that AI has been around for the last couple years, and every other week it seems like there's some new feature or new tool. But in all of that, there really hasn't been a great application of AI for investors. But public finally changed that when they announced AI agents. And what AI agents are essentially an investing assistant inside of the public account that can do pretty much anything you ask it to with your money. I'll throw up an example right here that I actually recently did the other day, and this is a QQQ dip buying strategy combined with a dollar cost averaging strategy. What I did is I simply went into the agent, I typed in, hey, I want to buy $500 of QQQ every month, and then if QQQ drops 3% intraday, I want you to buy another $500. And so the agent then goes and it'll ask you questions depending on which accounts you want to use and that kind of thing. And then it'll give you a preview of the exact strategy. And so I'll share the picture of it right here. But basically, as you can see, it's, hey, it's going to buy $500 of QQQ every month, and then it's going to scan every 15 minutes. And if QQQ drops 3% in a trading period, it is going to buy another $500 there. This is actually a very simple way to use AI agents, and I'll throw a couple pictures up of some other strategies that they talked about. But you can use the agent to look at PE ratios of stocks. You can look at daily performance. You can use it for option strategies. You can use it for moving money from your high yield savings account that public also offers into your brokerage or vice versa. There's really kind of an unlimited amount of strategies that you can do with this, but it's just really cool to finally see AI used in an application that is actually helpful for retail investors. And so I've been playing around with it quite a bit. It's pretty cool seeing public put this power kind of into the hands of the day-to-day investor and not some just, keeping it blocked up for some major institution to where we don't get to see it. Before we get too much farther into the video, I just want to say this is not sponsored. These are all my own opinions. Public does not know that I'm making this video. But that said, if you like what you see, I do have an affiliate link down in the description below. So if you're going to check public out, I would really appreciate it if you use that link, and I'll get a small cut from that, and it just helps support the channel. The second feature that is also one unique to public is actually called generated assets. And I'm going to share my screen with y'all now, so you should be able to see it. But this is actually another AI use case, and I'm not a big AI guy. I use it. I'm comfortable with ChatGPT. I actually pay for ChatGPT Pro, and I use it for different things. But when it comes to using AI, I haven't used it a lot for investing, but this is another feature that I honestly have liked playing with quite a bit, and it's really unique and haven't seen it anywhere else. What generated assets is basically using AI to create any ETF you want if you have a certain idea for it. And so when you go into public and you go into the generated assets tab, you'll come to this dashboard here, and it also gives you a question so you can enter any idea that you have. But it takes a little bit to load, and so I'm not going to enter anything now. We'll just kind of browse the current ones that they have. But you can see is like what's going across the screen right there. We'll look at some of the ones that currently exist, because you can actually browse current ideas that people have, and if you create an idea or an index that you like, you can share it for other people to invest into. But for example, European value stocks, founder led and owned, S&P 500 recent momentum leaders, nuclear innovators, etc., right? The ideas are endless. The coolest thing about generated assets is this little button right here that says backtest. So when you go into generated assets, you tell the AI to create your idea, it's going to pull a list of stocks and give them a certain allocation there. You can also use the AI there to edit the stocks. You can take stocks out, add stocks in, adjust the allocation, adjust the number of holdings, all that good stuff. And then it's going to calculate this backtest value. And what this backtest does is it actually runs the backtest for it against the S&P 500, so you can see if your idea was any good or if it just got beat out by the S&P 500 over the last decade or 5 years, depending on kind of the stocks that it holds. It'll tell you here. On the app here, there's not a ton of information on it, but if you do this on the desktop platform, it gives you a lot of cool statistics of your custom index versus the S&P 500. If we scroll down from there, you have your normal breakdown of the holdings and the allocation of each. And so it's just a really cool way to, if anything, test ideas. And if you find an idea that you really like, you can simply invest into it and it'll hold it like a normal ETF inside of your portfolio. Next on the list, and I won't go into these super in depth, but that is kind of the cash options that I like to call them inside of public. And so they have multiple here actually. And Treasuries, which so you can invest directly into Treasuries through the public app. So this is really cool. Treasuries can be clunky to invest into depending on which platforms you use. They're also state and local tax exempt. So if you're looking for a place to put your cash and you live in a state with income tax, Treasuries are a good option, and public makes that really easy to do. Another place for your cash is corporate bonds. You can invest into those directly on the public app, or if you want, you can actually open a bond account. So right now they are offering 6.15% in their bond account. So you receive regular interest payments, you get access to diversified portfolio bonds, and you only have to have $1,000 to start. So there's kind of an idea of the bonds that you would be investing into if you opened a bond account. Like I said, once again, super easy to access and use. Usually bonds are kind of clunky and can be annoying depending on the platform that you try to buy them on. So it's cool to see public making this easy and accessible for normal investors. They also have a high yield savings account, HYSA, if you're into that, FDIC insured. Right now you can earn 3.3% on your money and there are zero fees with it. As you can see, public offers a variety of places for your cash, and it's really a place that you can put your money, do everything you need to with it, whether that's save it in treasuries, put it in bonds, invest it in the market, build your own ETF, etc., etc. They do also have options, which I don't really push options a whole lot, but if you're someone who's already actively into options, they actually have a very good options interface in my opinion compared to many other platforms. I don't know if they are better than Robinhood in this aspect quite yet, but I think they are close. And they're probably, if they're not better than Robinhood, they're probably second to Robinhood. They also offer options rebates. So if you click right here, there's rebates on options. So you can see I don't have too many trades there, but for every option you trade, you do earn a little bit back, which is cool. And I don't think that's offered by any other platform. The last feature that I'll talk about before I just kind of give you an overall glance at the interface for public is direct indexing. So this is really cool. Direct indexing is when instead of buying an index, you go and buy the individual stocks in that index and match the allocation. And the benefit of this is really for taxes over the long run. So you can sell losers that are in the index. You can add back winners, that kind of thing. Gives you more control over the exact holdings and when you realize those taxes. Public will actually do this automatically inside of the app. So you can select which index you want, S&P 500. You can click next. You can choose how you want to do this based on the index. Let's say you want to rebalance it daily, and it will pull it up just like this. So it built you a direct index right here. Rebalance it. You can change the rules to it. I'm not super big into direct indexing, but if that's something that you like, or that's a strategy that you currently do, public might make it a lot easier for you to actually execute inside of their brokerage. Now that we've covered most of the features with public, I'll give you a quick look into the app so you can understand the interface and take a look and see if it's something that you like. I honestly think it's one of the best interfaces. I think it's better than Fidelity's app for sure, though I still love Fidelity. And honestly, I think it's rivaling Robinhood at this point. Here's a quick look at it. This is the homepage when you first log in. Here's my brokerage account. This is a small account that I have for just trading individual stocks and messing around with options. So I keep this separate from my normal investing account. Highly recommend that. This is basically my fun account right now. From here, you can look at your income. You can look at your account values, your allocation that you have across your portfolio. You scroll down. These are a few holdings that I have inside of here. So if you click into a stock, this is what it's going to show you: price, market cap, PE ratio. You can track. A cool feature that I like in here is if you click to the 1 year, it actually gives you kind of news events on the timeline. So if you're wondering what happened, it'll kick you to that event and give you a quick summary of what happened so you know why the stock was moving. Looking down, there's the stock. You can get into the options chain if you want right here. Pretty easy. This is a look into the options chain. Like I said, one of the better ones out there that I've seen. If we go back, to the stock information. There's the about, your normal information that you get right here at a quick glance. Quick look at the earnings that you can see, and then the financials, which they don't offer unless you upgrade to the pro version, but I think it's only like $100 a year, and you can get access to all this extra information down here. The markets tab is where you have all your normal day-to-day information. You can kind of browse and look at what's going on. So quick look at your indexes here, your sectors, earnings and events, all that good stuff, your major movers. If you would like to see that, is also on the stocks page here. Like I said, pretty clean overall interface. I don't use this tab a whole lot, but if you're someone who just likes to scroll around and look, it is pretty easy to navigate, and you can get your day-to-day summary of the market in one spot. Trading is pretty easy. You click trade, it'll pop it up right here. Stocks, we'll do an example. Let's just say Nvidia, trade, buy. It'll pull it up, boom, you can enter your order. So very clean, easy to use, and quick, but doesn't have all of the kind of gimmicky confetti that some other brokerages have. And then you have AI agents, which is not yet available on your phone, but it says it's coming soon. So that'll be really cool to see when it does finally get to the phone platform. I've talked a lot about the good and the cool features that Public offers, but as a user of the platform, there is also a con that I want to talk about because I have knocked other brokerages for this as well. And so it's only fair that I knock Public for it too. And that is the lack of live phone support. They have a live chat agent, but at the end of the day, I have not been able to at least locate a phone number that I can pick up the phone and call somebody if I really need to get a question answered or it is urgent. Hopefully they'll fix that in the future. I know there's a lot of investment that goes into having that kind of live support, but like I said, I've knocked other brokerages for that specific reason, and it's only fair that I mention that as a con to Public. That's the video though. Thank you for watching. If you found it helpful, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button down below. Leave a comment if you have used Public or you plan to use Public. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.